Welcome to Reef and Pond Wise, another absolute beautiful day in the hobby. And today we're going to talk about the green star polyp coral. And I think it's one of the most underrated coral in the hobby because it's gorgeous and it grows very, very well in most reef tanks. It's kind of forgiving. It's a what most people would call as a beginner coral, but I absolutely love it. I'm reminded of when I was a little kid. I would go to the local fish store and I would look at this green star polyp, which looks like grass in your reef tank, and I'd be mesmerized by the beauty of the blades of grass that would move back and forth in the flow. And as the grass moved in the flow, you would see these bright blue polyps that would be in between all of the grains of grass. So it was just something that I always wanted. And when I got into the hobby, I said to myself, I got to get some green star polyp, bring back a lot of memories. And so if you're not familiar with green star polyp, this is what it looks like. It looks like the grass that's on the back of the tank and right here. Now, one of the things that's always attracted to me to this particular coral is the movement, how beautiful it just moves with the flow and all of the glory that's in the tank. And it's a really nice contrasting color. But if you look close, you can see those blue polyps that I was talking about. And this is a fast-growing coral, guys. The only thing that I wish was available is to be able to put this in our freshwater environments. There are some other types of plants, but not this particular species. Is completely saltwater, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I may have a tank one day that's just a small nano tank that has nothing but green star polyp in it. As a matter of fact, if I pull back my drapes here, one of the things that I would definitely do looking out this window is put green star polyp in my pond. And I'm not able to do that, obviously, because it won't grow in a freshwater pond. But wouldn't it be wonderful if you had the availability to place some green star polyp on some of the rocks that are in your pond, and like on the waterfalls and some of the highlight features. But guys, it's just salt water. So one of the things that I love about this species of coral is just the movement and the color. It's very brilliant. Now, what's weird about this hobby sometimes is you can place coral and it'll grow differently. And what I mean by that is I've got a rock that I installed on the back of that wall there, and there it is. And I did that about 3 months ago. And on the same day, I did the same thing over here, and that's the rock that I put on that side of the tank. And they're only about 8 inches apart. Now, ironically enough, you can see that the green star polyp is actually spreading there, but it has never opened. So it's growing, but it's never opened. This one here, which is, like I say, about 8 inches away, is grown like crazy. And it's the exact same flow, the exact same lighting. So it's a little bit odd. It's a little bit goofy from time to time when you see what happens in your tank. Now, I did do an experiment because I wanted to see for myself if some of the videos that are out there on YouTube are correct. What I did was I had a frag of that digi there that fell off from my big harlequin tusk, and I went ahead and mounted them on this rock. And I wanted to see for myself if green star polyp was that invasive where it would overgrow an acropora, and it actually did. I'm going to show you what happened. You can see that the matting on that green star polyp actually did grow right over the acropora. So it's kind of interesting. You want to put this on a rock and make sure that you're kind of isolating it, otherwise it will take over the tank. And it's a beautiful, beautiful coral, one of my favorites, always has been, and I just think it's gorgeous with the movement and all of the beautiful, beautiful colors. And they come in different species. This is a species I believe came from Australia, so it's a little bit more brilliant with the green and yellow tint. But there's some other Indonesian specimens and some other coral that come from around the country that also vary in color. I find that the Australian specimens that come into the United States, for whatever reason, tend to be a little bit more brilliant in color. But that's what I like about the Green Star Polyp. My intent is to have all of the background on this tank covered in Green Star Polyp. I think it would be an absolute beautiful contrast to the other colors and the other coral that are in the tank, and have that entire backdrop covered in Green Star Polyp. But kind of weird, guys. Growing and just flourishing in one part of the tank, but not the other. So I'm going to do a little more research and find out if it's too far away from the light. Maybe the flow's too strong, too light. Could be a number of things. So if you love reef keeping and pond keeping like I do, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And remember, guys, anyone can build a reef, but it takes someone special to keep one. And that someone special is you.